So, picking up from the last video, you may have been wondering what was this instance frame? What is this? Well, let's figure that out. And so, now we'll explore in it in this video. And here we are defining the doxing class. And remember, we don't step into class definitions, or we do step into class definitions, but we don't step into function definitions. And so stepping into doxing, we'll just draw the class ring for that. Class dachshund inheritance from dog, and we'll define the init, which is just as we defined functions before. So we have func init parent init, and it takes in a pup. The parent is global. All right, and then we don't step into the body of the function. So we're done defining our class, and so now here's the tricky part. When we see a class name followed by parentheses, we are calling the class constructor or the class initializer. Same thing. And so when we see a constructor call, what is essentially happening, I'm going to be making this stuff up, but this is just to give you an intuitive grasp. This is equivalent to calling dachshund.init on new instance. And new instance is a made-up word. And remember before when we saw Rocky equals a new Chihuahua, I told you to make this instance frame. Well, that's essentially what we'll be doing. We're making a new instance of the dachshund class. Instance dachshund. And again, the parent of I forgot to write P equals here. P equals dog. The parent of a class frame or an instance frame is the class frame that it's an instance of. Parent equals dog, so I'll switch back to blue. Okay. In for a ride. And so we do this first, create new instance. Good. Now we're going to call instance on the init on the new instance. What that means, well, we know how to call things. This is the operator, so let's open a frame. We left off at F2, so F3. This is dachshund.init. Parent equals global, as that's the function frame in which it was defined. And in this case, pup. Okay, so we called it on new instance. We were calling this new instance. Right? Whatever that means. It's this. And so pup will just point to that. There. That's step 2. And we'll just keep on executing the body of init. And so we're over here. Ignore this. I meant to say pup.bark and pup.name. Usually this is self, but I'm using pup to show you can use any name you want. And so we're saying pup.bark. Well, again, the left-hand side of the dot tells us what frame to look in. And so we're still executing F3. We haven't returned yet. And so pup points to this frame. And there we're saying bark equals a lambda. It doesn't take anything in. And the parent, well, we're in F3, right? So the parent's F3. Cool. And pup.name is, what the heck does that say? Pack? Whatever. Okay, cool. And so now we execute the body of init, and so we're good. Returns none. Actually, no, sorry. What the init will give us is basically the instant this. It gives us this, right? Because we were initializing, we were constructing this new instance, and that's what we get back. To make that very clear, it points to the same place. Cool. And so in our global frame, if we didn't forget, remember we were doing this? Well, we did this part. And so now we're just going to bind that to D. So in global, we're still in global from before. D points to this instance. As you can see, this gets messy, but everything's here. And that's how you construct an object, and I'll leave it there. And just to recap, whenever we see the constructor, we're going to create a new instance frame, and then all we do is call init and pretend that we passed in that instance, the pointer to that instance. And so init took in pup will be this instance, point to that instance. And we just execute the body as we usually do, and the init will return the instance. Initialize. Like construct or create. That's what this is. That's what we did. We made a new dog. Where did its name go? Oh no. Oh, this went in the wrong place. Name. Always check your work. As we remember, this is a frame was in the pup's name, so pack. If I did name equals name, then we would have a name in this function frame. Good thing I checked my work. I'm going to